and you having 3-hour warm-ups before playing a game. I couldn't believe that. I feel like some Australian practices don't go more than an hour and a half, and this was a 3-hour warm-up for a game that you had to play.
Yes. Eric, you asked me what one of the main differences was, and it was, a 3-hour warm-up before every game was what we did every game. So it was 45 minutes stretching, then half an hour running, and then, your bullpen and, whatever else to get your head into the game. But finding time to fill in that 3 hours took me about a season to work out how to do right.
Beating Japan is, to say the least, hard. One of the most difficult things you can do in international diamond sports in general. Both sports very similar culturally. It's a team that doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. They pride themselves on execution. Anything you read about the team, it's coaches talking about execution. In fact, today, Japan, they have a shortstop in Ishikawa who made a crucial error at the World Games, a rare error from the captain, and she called it a mirror moment. She had to take some time away from the game to look in the mirror and reflect and use it as a learning opportunity. Just goes to show that how much they value not making mistakes and knowing that you pretty much have to play perfect to beat a team like this.
Yeah, and that reflects the level of training that they do, at their clubs and, within their national team. The training sessions in Japan would go, we'd get picked up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you'd be there all day till 3 or 4 in the afternoon, where you'd be spending hours trying to get a particular skill right, whether that be taking ground balls a particular way or hitting that inside high pitch. It's really just about getting that perfect, that perfect level of play in our game, which is the hardest thing to achieve when a great batting average is 350, 400.
Now, you got to spend some time in Japan. You got to see the culture there, and probably another dimension or universe. There's probably a world where maybe you have some legendary numbers in New Zealand too. Your time was shut down early because of COVID, but you did get to experience a little bit of New Zealand softball culture yourself.
That is true. I got a taste of softball in New Zealand, and I'm just saying a taste because I got picked up for the Ramblers Softball Club in Auckland.
Shout out to all the Ramblers and all the Auckland folk. Yeah.
There have been a few Aussies go over and play for the Ramblers. However, it was the year 2020, so I only my year got cut short, so I didn't get the privilege of playing in their club championship, which is what is talked about. So I was a bit devastated I didn't get to have a crack at that.
Yeah, the club championships, and then you have your national fast pitch championships, both very important. The club championships, it's exactly as it sounds, except it's clubs from around the country that enter this tournament and play against each other, and it is a big deal. You can go on YouTube and watch a lot of New Zealand Grand Finals. They do a great job of covering them. In fact, they cover the whole tournament, and there are crowds, and it looks like there is passion. No different from the fast pitch championships, in which it's basically your association that goes out and you represent your association. So you get to play with players from different clubs, but let's say you're from North Harbour in that association. All the clubs in there would form an all-star team. No different than if you're in Australia playing for Queensland or New South Wales or your state team. Both sound important. Now, New Zealand, their women's team, the White Sox, they are on the rise. They are trying to qualify for a 2027 final stage of the World Cup in the qualifiers, which is effectively the World Cup. It's just played over 2 years. They're in Group C. They'll be heading over to Oklahoma next September, and they're in a tough group, so they've got to find that right mix of players to get it done. It's a tough job for New Zealand, but their men's program, they've won world championships before. No reason to think their women's team with more and more college players can't build towards something like that too.
Exactly, and this Tri-Series is a fantastic opportunity for these players to showcase how they can go head-to-head with the best teams in the world. So it's I'm very interested to see how they bring it.
Starting with the player announcements, we'll get you the starting lineups as they run out on the field. Don't go anywhere. You are in for a treat. The Haka will be performed before this game in front of these Japanese players, and part of the big cultural experience of this all, especially I think for some of the fans coming down here, seeing something unique to Australian sport, but something so culturally important in New Zealand. They're announcing their starting lineups and their team as well. There are a few debuts. We have Marama Makia from EUI. She is making her debut today, and she's leading things off. She's got some pedigree at Eastern Illinois University. Poppy Priddle, the 16-year-old, playing her second game of the day. Erin Blackmore will bat third. Denva Shaw-Tate batting fourth. She played in the first game as well. Tiarn Bromhead Lamalu, she's making her debut, the 21-year-old out of North Shore. Holly Jacobs, the 27-year-old, also on debut. Kiara Taimai, she's just become a police constable, and now she's in the lineup here today. Meanwhile, Alyssa Laurie batting number 8 from Canterbury, and Danica Fariso. She's got some experience. One of the more experienced players is lining things up. Danica Fariso, I should say. I knew that one would get me already. We talked about it before, Justine.
Talk about this.
She rounds out the lineup and on the mound. Monk on the mound, Panya Monk. She's pitched some big games already for her country, so you get the experienced head in the circle going against a very Japanese-heavy lineup filled with world champions, and I kind of like it. You go to an experienced arm to try to navigate a young team in that lineup.
Yeah, 100%. Lead from the front, and that's what she will be doing today.
Kyoko Ishikawa, the captain, will lead things off. Urara Fujimoto bats second. Mayu Okawa bats third. We've got Saori Yamauchi batting fourth. She is at Hitachi. She's the scoop queen. I love some of the nicknames we've found. One of the best catchers in the world, maybe the best catcher in the world. She catches the best pitcher in the world, so she can maybe make claim to that. Yume Karisha is going up today against New Zealand. A cool experience for the debutantes. Hataro Sakamoto batting third, a two-time Diamond League home run leader. Shiu Soto, Risa Kiramura, and Yui Nakamizo, I should say, rounding out the lineup today for Japan. And yeah, we'll talk more as the day goes on. But yeah, all of these players seem to have some big accolade next to their name, and they're all full-time softballers.
Yeah, there's no denying the level of experience in the Japanese team here today. I'm just looking forward to see how they turn up for their first game of the series.
Well, we will pause for a moment for the national anthems, both of New Zealand and Japan. Then we'll get the Haka. Then Justine and I will take you away with Game 2 of the Softball Australia Cup, live from Brisbane.
And third base is Joel Grimes.
Before you play and represent your country at the highest level. I'm sure it's something that Yeah, so those outside of the games of softball you play, I'm sure you remember those moments a lot from your playing career too.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing like standing before the game and listening and singing to your own anthem.
And a gift exchange between the two countries as well. New Zealand playing their second game of a doubleheader. Played Australia early on, a pin exchange as well. And now the Haka performed by New Zealand in front of these Japanese athletes. I'm not too sure the last time these two countries have played. They wouldn't have played all that often. They're not often in the same World Cup groups. Japan always at the pointy end, and New Zealand, a few top-level World Cup appearances. We'll pause for the Haka. And one by one, they head back to the dugout. We're ready for softball. Always a pretty cool spectacle at an international event. Were you on the receiving end of one of those in your playing time, Justine Smethurst?
Yeah, a couple of times. That just gave me chills. I love the passion and the tradition behind the Haka. It's just great to watch.
And now we will head down on the field. Field side, Georgie is down with us right now.
Thanks, team. I'm with Dr. Lara Andrews, who's the captain of the New Zealand softball team. Lara, against Australia into this game.
Yeah, it's good to be out here on the diamond, play international softball. We got our little jitters out in that first game, and now we just got to improve each game after that. Oh, we've been very welcomed here by Queensland Softball. We're really grateful for our scrimmage we had with the team. They've also hosted our junior teams in the last 2 months, so we're really grateful for that relationship, and we want to continue to work together for the greater success of softball.
Well, we're really looking forward to this next match. Thanks so much.
Very much.
Thanks, Eric.
Always good to hear from the captain, one of the legends of a trailblazer, really, in New Zealand softball. Dr. Lara Andrews, the first player to head to the United States and play in the pro league there. And I like what she said. It's about improving each time, get the jitters out game one, now you build for game two.
Yeah, and Lara would know. She's been around the game internationally for a long time. I think her debut was in 2005, so she's played a lot of international softball, and there's no one better to lead that New Zealand team than her.
This is Mio Sakamoto on the mound. She's been part of the top team in Japan since 2023, part of that team that won a World Cup. Coming off a great year last year in the Diamond League, which is the top level of softball in Japan. Had a 1.92 ERA in 23 games. The win-loss record of 10-4, 77 strikeouts in 76 and 2/3 innings. She has taken over sort of the captain of Hitachi, Sun Diva, as the leader of that squad. She'll be in the circle, and Sakamoto will be a key part. Makia will lead things off, making her debut as well. So Makia, a great opportunity for her to have her first experience with international softball at the senior level. Let's play game two of the Softball Australia Cup. Japan, New Zealand, the White Sox as they're called, are underway. And we'll see what Sakamoto has on offer against Makia from Eastern Illinois University. That's where she just got back from. Seen more and more athletes from both Australia and New Zealand go take the college route, and that doesn't just mean Division I. It also means some junior college avenues before, and try to work your way onto a D1 squad. Slash down the right side. That one goes foul.
No surprises with Sakamoto getting ahead early in the count. That almost looked like an off-speed pitch to force that foul for the second strike.
Makia plays with Saints in Clubland. Hutt Valley over in the associations. And she'll just chop one foul. Japan don't give away a lot of free bases at any level that they play, meaning walks, errors. They sort of make you work for everything. And here's the 1-2. Makia over towards second, and Suto makes the play. And there's one down in the first out, but the first moment at the senior national team level for Makia, and a pretty cool moment, I'm sure, nonetheless.
Yeah, Makia got the middle of the ball on that bat. It was just a shame it was right to the player.
Poppy Priddle, 16 years old. One of two 16-year-olds. One just turned 17, but two high schoolers, you could say, on the New Zealand national team. She watches a first pitch strike over the plate.
Yeah, that's the second batter where Sakamoto started with that first pitch on the outside as a strike.
Priddle is fast. She's led championships in stolen bases. She was up there among the stolen base leaders at the Canada Cup in her group. Debuted as a 15-year-old. Chopped over towards second, and a busy Suto makes the play in 2 outs, and both onto that right side of the diamond. You'll expect them to work quick. And Priddle making some contact. She had 3 strikeouts in her first game of the tournament a little earlier today. Even that ball in play, those little wins make a big difference. Erin Blackmore has some experience playing on this very field.
Yeah, she was not a Queenslander, but lived in Queensland years ago and played for the Bears locally at Downy Park.
She's been a feature and a mainstay on this national team for a while. Still just 26, 27 years old. Plays with Roosters in North Harbour. Kind of looked to as one of the leaders of this New Zealand squad. Just got some good softball content if you follow her on Instagram, and she posted a pretty cool photo of her at a clinic as a kid on this field, and then running one yesterday. All these teams got to run different, these 3 nations in this got to run a clinic for kids and Queenslanders on the first day of school, nonetheless, too. Sakamoto gets her to swing and miss. A quick 1-2-3 inning for one of the best in Japan.
Yeah, you noticed that Sakamoto brought in that change of speed early on in the game. I thought we may have seen it later on in the game, but innings 1, we saw a few change-ups and off-speed pitches.
Well, we'll flip over the lineup card and we'll see how they bat. Holly Jacob, we'll start with the field first for New Zealand. Poppy Priddle is in left, Erin Blackmore in center, Alyssa Laurie in right. Holly Jacobs playing third, Danica Fariso at short, Makia Marama at second. Denva Shaw-Taint is playing first base. Kiara Taimai is catching the balls and strike to Panya Monk. Another player with some college experience in the circle. I like this strategy from New Zealand. Obviously, you have a lot of young players, a lot of debutantes. Nice to see somebody that has a lot of experience in the circle.
Yeah, I think New Zealand made the right decision in putting someone with a bit more experience in the middle, just to even out the youth on the field and have someone lead from the front.
Did pitch at the Canada Cup back in July 2025. She, in tournament play through 10 2/3 innings, she allowed just the 2 earned runs. That's an ERA of 1.31. So nice and low for Monk in the circle. And if you include the warm-up games, just 13 hits given up in 22 2/3 innings. But through that all, only 1 extra base hit. So against a team that can do a lot of damage, nice to have somebody that has the potential to limit extra bases as well.
Yeah.
Here is how Japan will bat in lineup. It is Kyoko Ishikawa, Urara Fujimoto, Maya Ukawa. They'll be due up to start this inning. Then we've got Saori Yamochi, Yume Kirishi, Hataro Tsukamoto, Shio Suto, Risa Kuramura, and then Wei Nakamizo will line things out for Japan. Japan, the world #1. They come to win any tournament that they play. Ishikawa will lead things off. She's with the Toyota Red Terriers. Justine, the Red Terriers, they've sort of become the class of the Diamond League. It's being rebranded, reformed as the Diamond League, I guess you could say, since 2022, but effectively still the top level of Japan national softball.
Yeah, it's the top level in Japan, and Toyota have sit 1 or 2 generally.
Every year.
Every year. They won the 2025, they won the title.
And Ishikawa, the captain of this Japanese squad that's come over for this tournament. She's been the Diamond League MVP as well. I want to talk about pedigree that's in this game. Well, look no further than number 10.
Great start for Panya, getting ahead early with that first pitch strike and then throwing in a bit of that off speed for the second.
One of the bigger opponents that she's faced in her life in Panya Monk. Did pitch at Eastern Arizona in college a number of years ago. Now relied upon as one of those top 2 pitchers in the White Sox squad. How do you even go about game planning for a lineup that is loaded with talent like Japan?
You've obviously got existing records on these players, but then at the end of the day, you have to trust that what you have as a pitcher is better than what the batter's going to bring to the table.
Smashed up the middle. It'll be a leadoff single, maybe a double as Ishikawa tries to stretch it to 2. It's a good throw in. There's some intent from the Japanese already. They got a runner in scoring position.
I think that's kind of just set the tone for this game, hasn't it? Then they're going to take the extra bases if they're given to them.
Yeah, she didn't hesitate on a ball that wasn't it overly hard to center field. If it was hit harder, maybe that would have stopped her, but she didn't look like she was slowing down rounding first at all. Here's Fujimoto. Already a runner advancing to third. Free bases will be important. Japan can bounce on that quickly. Fujimoto plays with big camera. Talk about the 2 probably power clubs in Japanese softball. It would be Toyota, the Red Terriers, and Big Camera as well, who have the most titles historically, if you include the old league, which you probably should as well.
Yeah, 2 very dominant clubs.
It's one that the manager and Itsagi coaches at as well, so a good relationship with Fujimoto.
Be interesting to see what Japan do with the runner on 3 here, if they look at that classic contact and run play.
Well, there's the contact, and it will drop just a little foul down the left field line. Japan, an all business-like approach. They were here hours before they were meant to play. watching a bit of the game, warming up on one of the backfields.
Those 3-hour warm-ups, Eric.
Those 3-hour warm-ups in the 30-degree Queensland heat. Fujimoto up the middle, ranging over is Makea. And that ball slips away. There'll be a runner on first, and that's how the first run of the game scores as well. So as quickly as Ishikawa got on, she scores.
They take a 1-0 lead. Next in bat is number 19.
Runner would have scored regardless. She did the job of getting the ball in play.
Yeah, as soon as that ball was on the ground, that runner in third was well off the base. That would have been a very hard play at the plate.
Makea did a good job of getting to the ball, but still no outs. Brings up Mayu Okawa, 25-year-old from Honda. So much of this squad is just aged between 25 and 27 years old. She was the Diamond League Rookie of the Year a couple of seasons ago. Runner is going again. Throw not in time. It was a good jump from first from Fujimoto.
Yeah, she managed to make it to 2 very comfortably then.
Justine, you said it right off the top. You can see sort of the aggressive intent that Japan has for this game. And a big jump as well at second.
Yeah, I think unless you show them that you're going to make a play on that, they're going to take every advantage that they can.
So is that what that jump is there, just to see how the pitcher and catcher react to it?
Yeah, also maybe to see, who's covering that second base as well, where which pivot is coming in to cover 2.
Runners on 1 and 2 now. Next in bat for Japan.
Kawa will walk, and now you get the middle of the lineup. 1 run in already. Runner on first and second. Now Yamauchi from Hitachi will step up to the plate. Steady serving of lefties from the Japanese top-tier squad.
Yeah, it's very common for the Japanese team to have a very stacked left-hand batting side.
Can be problematic for some.
Yeah, but if they're bunting, hitting, swinging away, they've just got all the tools and they're closer to first base.
That ball in the dirt, a run, the throw over to third. Sees both runners advance, so 2 runners in scoring position early for Japan. And Yamauchi can already put a dent on the scoreboard before an out is recorded for New Zealand. Runner's quick to go every time that ball is on the way to home plate. Brings the count to full. Big early moment for New Zealand, trying to limit some damage, trying to get that first out. This ball has some pop, but it's straight up in the air. Moving back on it is Makea, and it lands in the glove of Alyssa Laurie. Run will score. They'll take out from third. You trade the out for the run. And Japan make good contact to get on base. But it's been small ball that scored the first 2 runs of the games in terms of the RBI. Wasn't overly deep. Scores the run regardless.
No, it was just beyond the grass, wasn't it?
Yumi Karishi, one of the premier catchers, not just in the Diamond League, but in the world. She's been the catcher for Japan in some of their biggest games in the last couple years, including a 2024 World Cup final. Ground ball over to the third base side. The play home. Ball slips away. The run will score. So Okawa was trying to push the pace at home. And Japan wastes no time. They've added another to their lead.
Panya actually did a really good job there, keeping the ball on the infield. That was a good pitch for that count.
The throw was probably on time. It was just wayward. You see a good look at it on the replay. Not where it has to be. Those decisions have to be made so quickly at this level, don't they? You don't have much time to react, think, throw, be on time.
No, and that's that classic Japanese contact hit and run play. So that runner was off running home as soon as she saw the contact on the bat.
And throughout all of that, now she's standing at second.
Now she's at second, yes.
Atara Tsukamoto. She's got home run pop. And again, ball slips away. So not the cleanest right now from New Zealand. Tough to give an inch to a team like Japan. Tsukamoto's won 2 Diamond League home run titles. And you see the power here. Priddle moves back. It's dropped in front of the wall. 1 run will score, and rounding 2, pushing for 3 is Tsukamoto. And it's a triple and a 4-0 lead for Japan just like that.
Next into bat, wearing uniform number 3, Shiho Suto.
You see it on the replay, opposite field as well. Ball just had a bit of carry.
Yeah, and I think with the runner going straight to 3, that cutoff from the outfield coming in and almost misdirected, should have gone to 3rd. And they may have had a chance.
Here so often coaches use the word in the international game, or the words, it speeds up on you, it moves quickly. You're kind of seeing that here where you get the ball in play, you got to make that quick decision.
100%. And at an international level, those additional bases can make the difference between winning and losing a game.
Shiho Suto steps up to the plate. Plays with the Shining Vega. He's a World Cup champion, one of the ones in the lineup today. That ball just catches the edge for a strike. Sort of tricky. You hear those words. Things speed up, and you hear about how coaches like to train in overspeed. Here's the pitch. Taimai will have a look down 3rd. Is that something teams work on, training in overspeed, trying to simulate that quick decision making, or can you really not get it until you're in a game like this?
I mean, of course you can train for it, but then there's instinct, right? The ball comes to you, it comes down to, you should know what the play is, where you're throwing it, but then there's variations in the game where your instinct comes into play, and you have to react.
Tough to teach instinct. Suto watches a pitch on the outside. It's a long inning for Monk as well. Japan were so quick to retire the first 3 of the game. That ball slips away, and it might cost him a run. Nobody covering home. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. And 5 of the first 6 have reached. All 5 have scored. Make it 6 of 7 as Suto walks. And free bases are coming back to bite New Zealand early. Nothing's been overly hard hit. There was the double that was almost a single to center. That was just speed from Ishikawa. The triple was the triple, but other than that, nothing too hard hit.
No, there's been a few loose balls to the back net, which have, given extra bases to Japan, which have, hurt New Zealand. But I mean, I think there's probably a little bit of game jitters that are, that are coming into play here.
I'm sure it's got to be a weird feeling, right? You go to bed, you know you're going to wake up, you're going to play the #1 team in the world. Then it finally happens, and it's 5 runs on the board quickly, and you're probably thinking, okay, I guess this is what it is to play the #1 team in the world. See if they can get the second out here. 0-2 count. There you go. There's something to build on for Panya Monk. 3-pitch strikeout.
That's a great return for Panya. Way to dig deep and get an out for yourself.
See if we see it on the replay. Here's Yui Nakamizo. She's also led the Diamond League in home runs. Nice to have a home run leader in the Diamond League, bat 9.
It just shows what level of depth we have throughout the Japanese team here. Well, that's a lovely off-speed pitch. Just cut the inside of the plate.
Well, she's come back with 5 straight strikes since the 5th run crossed the plate. See if she can get out of the inning. Now she's filling up the strike zone now.
Yeah. Throwing more across the plate. Looks a little bit more controlled. I like where this is headed.
Ninth batter in the lineup. Already up in the first inning for Japan. And Nakamizo pops it up in foul territory. It's got enough get up and go to get out of the field of play. I've been told this is an awkward time at the field, around the 3:30 local time mark. It's when the sun starts to play some tricks on you here.
Yeah, there is a bit of a gnarly sun that comes in right at the batter's box during this time. So hopefully it doesn't affect either team.
Ball and 2 strikes. 5 runs across here in the first. Now they're just a hard out. Tries to go something up and out.
Which isn't a bad pitch for that count. We're ahead 2-1. So you needed to throw something out for the batter, maybe to take her eyes away from the pitch.
It's like get frustrating as a pitcher where you go jump ahead 0 early, and all of a sudden it's 7 pitches later. You're still there in the same battle, or does that fire you up more?
The frustrating part is when you're there 7 pitches later and they've fouled off every single pitch within your repertoire. So it's trying to work out, well, where are we going to go from here?
Now it's going to be a full count with a runner in second. It's interesting. I've talked to, well, you hear that a lot from, Dave Nilsson, his name is. He's a Queenslander. He's the most probably famous Australian baseballer there is. He played in Japan as well. He had a reputation of fouling away everything that the pitcher threw. And maybe if you looked in a game, he might have been 0 for 1 in his first at-bat. But after that, he paid dividends. He was 2 for 4 because he saw everything in your arsenal in that first at-bat.
And you know what? He was probably waiting for his perfect pitch, fouling all the other ones off, the ones he didn't like, just to wait for the one that was his.
Well, seeing everything the pitcher has to offer for you and your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Nakamizo fouls it away again. This is an incredible at-bat.
Yeah, Nakamizo's definitely seeing the middle of the ball. She's turning hard on that inside pitch.
Started off 0-2. There's been 4 foul balls. 3 balls mixed in the middle as well. This is pitch number 11
on
of
full
the at-bat.
count.
Great battle. And it'll be ripped to left field. A run is going to score. And the battle is won by Nakamizo. An 11-pitch epic. And she finally gets something to drive. And it's a 6-0 lead for Japan.
Number 10, Kyoko Ishikawa.
It was just a gritty at-bat. Here's Ishikawa. She started off the game with a double. We thought it would be a single, but she took a hard round around first. And she goes swinging on the first pitch. Moving back is Lori. It's to the wall, and it's over the fence. Ishikawa with a 2-run bomb. And Japan have a statement first inning. Oh, the last at-bat, 11 pitches, ends in a single. She needed just one to rip this one over the fence.
It's a real contrast, isn't it? Going from an 11-pitch count to 1. Really heartbreaking for the pitcher.
Now Craig Wallace will have a word with his pitcher on the mound. Japan coming out of the gates with authority in Australia. Ishikawa already halfway to the cycle. She's got a double and a home run. And it's 8-0. Here's Fujimoto. Already singled, stole a base, and scored. She's not tall. She's 149 centimeters. How does that change your approach as a pitcher, knowing that, yeah, strike zone's a little smaller on her?
I think you still have to pinpoint every pitch. It does just make that strike zone that little bit smaller, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, an edge all of a sudden becomes a ball. He's lower and upper.
But then, on the other hand, your low drop ball, it maybe becomes your strike.
There you go, maybe. Hunk out there for a while. It's warm out there, too. About 32 degrees here. Not as hot in New Zealand as it gets in Queensland. You have to add the humidity as well. These players playing their second game of a doubleheader. Having to go against the world number 1. It's not exactly easy, and these are lengthy at-bats from Japan. Fouled away again, and Monk stuck in a full count battle for the second time in 3 batters.
There's been a lot of deep counts so far in this first innings. A lot of pitches thrown.
Now a ball hit to center field again. Blackmore moving back, and it's off the wall as well. Standing up at 2 is Fujimoto. And Japan have found some power here in the first inning. 8 runs on the board already, and they're looking for more. The home run from Ishikawa, now the double from Fujimoto.
Yeah, there's certainly no mercy from the Japanese players. I mean, you look at that hit on a 3-2 count. There was no choking up of the bat or just looking for contact. It was a full swing on the pitch.
Looks like it's going to prompt a change. A tough outing for Panya Monk. Japan got on top of her early. She's got a full tournament, though, that she's got to be ready for. She'll have some key tilts against Australia, and she'll have to face Japan again later in the week.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, New Zealand get that previous out that was given to them for the runner at home. This looks like a completely different ball game.
Yeah, it's true. They scored some early runs based on, a couple pass balls. They had a stolen base. It's an early lesson showing how important it is to take care of the softball, Justine, because big things tend to blow out when that happens.
Especially with a team like Japan. Every out is hard, so every out that's given to you, you really have to take.
Brittany Terry back on the mound. She's returning to the top level of the senior team for the first time in a couple of years. Terry playing with Canterbury, hometown of Christchurch. She had a 3.05 ERA in the last fast pitch championships in her 20 innings of work, going against some pretty powerhouse clubs. She has pitched for New Zealand in different levels for a better part of a decade, whether it be junior or seniors. In the Junior World Cup qualifiers, she delivered a complete game win for New Zealand. That was back in 2017, limiting opponents to just 4 hits. Ended up playing at Indian Hills Community College in Iowa, played at Salt Lake Community College in Utah. So she has some experience in the States, experience at the national and international level as well. Now she gets an opportunity to front up against Japan. It's the middle of the lineup again. Mayu Okawa, the 25-year-old out of Honda. Let's see what Terry can do. She finds the edge for a first pitch strike. You get a good head nod from you, Justine.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want for a pitcher coming into the game in this kind of scenario. Early strikes.
Two strikes, and now a runner trying to steal the throw is there. Holly Jacobs couldn't quite corral it. Fujimoto, one of the stolen base leaders in the Japan Diamond League, taking the game on. There was sort of that pump fake, and then the throw might have been there, to be honest. It was pretty close. Either way, like you said, they've already scored 8 runs in an inning, and there's just no mercy from Japan. Now was
Is that an illegal pitch that's been called?
It might have been. Terry's just going to ask the question for it, and that's going to be a free base as well. Going to prompt a conversation from the head coach, Craig Wallace. Don't know if we'll have a replay of it, but that's going to cost him a run as well.
I see her putting both of her hands up. I wonder if it's got something to do with her alignment.
You saw the replay there. Did you see anything on that instance on the replay?
No, usually if it's 2-second pause, that's picked up pretty quickly. But no, I can't work that one out.
Either way, it's now 9 on the board for Japan. A relentless first inning. Kawa up to bat now. She's already walked and scored. Here's a look at the side angle on the replay. You keep an eye on that. I'll call the ball and strike out on field right now.
Done deal.
Here's the pitch in real time. A pitch outside for a ball. I think Brittany Terry was unsure as well, Justine.
Might have to get the inside scoop in between innings.
Now a second walk for Okawa. A lengthy first inning continues. Another base runner. Sari Yamauchi, will step up to the plate. She had a sacrifice fly for the first out of the inning. She plays with Hitachi. All these company teams that you hear from Japan. The softball department is similar in baseball in the industrial leagues. Ground ball over to second. Nice pickup from Makia. And the inning will come to an end, but a 9-run first inning from the world number ones have sort of set a pretty resounding statement, you would say, in the first inning. That was relentless.
That was relentless. They've definitely told us that they have turned up to play. There's no doubt about that. A lot of extra stolen bases, steals. Yeah, any opening, and they definitely took it in this innings.
Yeah, it's going to be a good learning experience, I think, for both New Zealand and the Spirit this week. The three teams that are playing in the Softball Australia Cup. Craig Wallace, by the way, still having a conversation out on, well, I guess the first baseline, trying to probably dissect what that was called for, but only can go up from here, you hope, for New Zealand.
Yeah, I hope they can just wipe that start and come in fresh for their batting innings.
You'll have Denva Shaw Tate, Tyarn Bromhead Lamalu, and Holly Jacobs do up the 4, 5, 6 in the lineup. Sakamoto throughout that all went 1, 2, 3 in the top of the inning. 2 4-3 ground outs and a strikeout swinging. She's throwing to Karishi, one of the best players in the Diamond League. And leading things off, Denva Shaw Tate. She'll take a first pitch for a strike. And again, that relentless attack from Japan. She just goes right out and throws you a strike, tries to fill up the zone. Shaw Tate, a 3-generation player of national team representation. She'll ground this back to the pitcher, and that's good fielding from Sakamoto and a quick first out.
Yeah, Sakamoto came attacking early as expected and managed to get that miss hit straight back to her for the out at 1.
Well, the debut for Tyarn Bromhead Lamalu. Plays with the Roosters and at North Shore. 21-year-old Tyarn is. A lot of debutantes in this New Zealand lineup. Now in the game of trying to find some positives in an early start. What's the dugout chat like in your experience in games that are maybe falling heavily on the wrong side on your end?
Obviously, it gets a little bit quieter in the dugout, so consciously you have to make a shift and make a real effort to bring that energy up and make sure you're bringing it to the game.
9, a big total to chase down, but a lot of little wins can be found here for New Zealand the rest of the way. Sort of already that expressed intent from Japan that the world number one is going at you today. They don't care if it's your second game of the day. They don't care what the cup is called. They're going at you. Good swing from Bromhead Lamalu. Both these teams shared a diamond together last night, teaching a coaching clinic to a lot of the Brisbane locals. Here's Sakamoto again.
It's so nice to see these international teams that are coming over to play in Australia, that they're really giving back to our grassroots. I love hearing that, you know, they're running clinics for the kids, helping us really grow the sport of softball in Australia.
Here's Holly Jacobs, 27-year-old, had a nice junior career, but now making her debut. Plays with Johnsonville, plays with Wellington. Trying to get the first base runner for New Zealand. A couple lengthier at-bats than what we saw in the first inning already, but Sakamoto pitching well. Here's a ball that had hard hit down the left side, and Tsukamoto charged for it in foul territory. Good first hard hit ball we've seen so far.
First hard hit ball, and the left fielder managed to cover a lot of ground in that hit, nearly taking the ball.
Up 9-0, sliding into a brick wall. They play a game at one speed, Justine.
That's exactly right, Eric.
Now some more chat from the circle.
Now,
You think you got it?
I think the illegal pitch has something to do with the alignment of the stride of the pitcher. They might be stepping off too far to one side. You can just see with the hand gestures. Looks like the Japanese translator is trying to tell the pitcher the reason as to why, and those hand gestures tell me that it could be that she's stepping too far away from that line.
So where do you want to be stepping if we were to on that next replay? Depends.
Obviously straight, but I think the pitch looks like it's a little bit dug out, so it might be a little bit hard for these pitchers to take that straight first stride. It's very uncommon to get an illegal pitch called for that.
You can see her start right at the edge of the rubber.
It certainly hasn't phased Sakamoto. I mean, she came back with 2 strikes following the illegal pitch.
What do you like about Sakamoto's action early on?
Oh, I think with any Japanese pitcher, it's consistent, and I think you know, all of the pitches look the same. Yeah, it's hard to differentiate between when she's throwing a rise ball, drop ball, and change, and there's that rise ball.
She gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. She struck out 3 in the game so far, and it's the offense ticking over with 9 runs. Meanwhile, 6 up, 6 down for Sakamoto. Good to see, though, New Zealand out on the bench, still making some noise in that dugout despite the scoreline early. That's the hard one to lift. Let's see, look at this, a good angle of... It's such a big leap these pitchers always make, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can see how far they're, you know, how deep they're digging out that drag with the back foot too. Might be hard for them to push onto a...
Terry coming in relief of Panya Monk. There's a bit of strategy in how you want to deploy your pitchers at a tournament like this as well. You're playing 2 games a day, having to play upwards of 9 games over a course of 4 days. Now in softball, you can pitch a lot more than you can in a sport like baseball. It's not like you can't back it up even later that day or the next morning. You saw that in the national championships. You still got to be careful with how you manage your pitching staff in a short tournament like this when you have to face the same team over and over again. And Justine, you learn a lot about a pitcher more times you face them too.
You do, and you learn about, you know, the different pitch sequences that they throw to you, where their go-to pitch is. You might see, you know, rise balls the first time round when you're at bat, and then the game plan for the pitcher might change, and then the pitcher might then start throwing more of a drop ball. It just depends how the momentum of the game is rolling.
Terry trying to start this inning off against someone that has a great command of the plate in Yume Kirisei. One of the top catchers in the Diamond League. There's probably those 2 clubs, those powerhouse clubs. She catches at big camera. Home of Ueno. Maybe the most legendary Japanese pitcher in the game. She's got a 2-2 here. Can she find the out pitch?
I really like the idea of that pitch in that count. Just a shame the execution wasn't there.
Full count. Just missed the spot. So bronze medalist pitcher in the booth right here with us. What's she thinking when you have the 2-2 count? She's obviously trying to attack low.
Yeah, it seems like she's throwing a bit on the outside that's just sitting a little bit off the plate, and then coming in and getting her strikes on the inside. I think maybe early on look to attack more on that inside, which that was an inside pitch called there. Unfortunately, it was a hit by pitch for the batter, but definitely the right idea from the catching point of view.
Well, now 2 free bases.
In this position with this scoreline, we really should be just looking at throwing Terry's best pitches for these batters.
Suto up to bat right now. She walked and scored. Tsukamoto, who stands on first, tripled her last at bat. So your best pitch and for a strike.
Yeah, 100%. When you're starting behind in the count, you want to throw your best pitch.
That one finds the edge.
And then if your other pitches aren't working, slowly bring them back into the game so you get that confidence behind those pitches.
Find your bread and butter.
100%. And then when you get more comfortable on the mound throwing in the game in this situation, then you can start building in your other pitches.
It's almost like you earn the right to throw a ball. Throw your best for strikes.
Yeah, but I mean, from the other side, you see Sakamoto getting ahead early with her best pitches, and then she'll throw her secondary pitches outside of that to get swings, from balls. And that's because she set herself up well with, that 1-2 pitch being a strike.
Such an easy game.
Oh, isn't it easy as a spectator?
Ground ball over to second. Nakia throws over for one. Variso steps on the bag. There's the first out. An acrobatic play from Danica Variso. We'll get a look at it on the replay. A nice flip as well. Got the toe tap down with a runner sliding in. Not the easiest play to make. She's one down.
Terry looks like she's starting to become more comfortable on the mound now. We are, the last two batters, we've had early strikes in the count.
Lisa Kawamura plays for the legendary club, big camera as well. She was the stolen base champion in the competition for a couple of seasons. I feel like every player you read in this lineup was a leader of some sort at some time. Get to pick from the best of the best in Japanese softball. It's a big contrast. Just the structure as this is popped out towards left field. Play made by Poppy Priddle. They'll trade the out for the run, but that's a positive start for New Zealand. 2 outs on the board and only 1 run in.
Yep. Terry's doing a really good job to contain these batters now. And you can just see overall on the field, there's just a lot more control.
Feels like a lot more of a relaxed inning as well from New Zealand.
Yeah, and I think you'll see as this tournament goes on how this New Zealand team will, find that level of comfortability, and that next game against Japan will look completely different to this one.
I think already we are having our first pinch hitter or substitution. Natsumi Fujimura will step up for her first turn at the plate.
Natsumi Fujimori.
Natsumi Fujimori plays for Hitachi Sun Diva. She's the reigning East Division MVP. 2025, she had a .476 average at the plate. She's coming off the bench in game 1.
It's a very impressive batting average for that standard of league too.
You surprised she won the MVP?
Not with that batting average, Eric. I'm certainly not.
Pretty crazy. We can read through all those numbers of the Japanese squad of those first 9 players that come up, and the substitution in the 9-hole is an MVP.
Again, it just shows the level of depth this Japanese team has brought over to Australia.
It's so different, though. I mean, these women are playing pro softball, working in their softball departments of their respective company teams, and then New Zealand and Australia, they're paying their way to represent their country at the highest level. That's what New Zealand did. A lot of these clubs back home watching in New Zealand held fundraisers and events just to get these players.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot tougher for the Aussies and the New Zealand team. We definitely play the game for the love of softball. And hopefully with this level of exposure and all these international games that are coming to Queensland and Australia, it helps give us that exposure that the game needs to grow.
You got to wonder with what a lot of these players could do if they didn't have to work their full-time jobs and play softball as their second full-time job. Ground ball up the middle. 1 run is going to score. It'll be an 11-0 lead. So Fujimura comes off the bag, and there's a nice play at second. And New Zealand are going to get out of the inning. The run will count. It's scored before the play. But Fujimura called out at second. That's a tidy little play. Take a quick look at it on the replay. Heads up.
Yeah, that was a great cut from the first baseman to take that runner going to 2.
Well, we've got our third member of our commentary team. Georgie, down to you. What do you got for us?
From Melbourne. I'm sorry, Dana from Melbourne. And I'm interested to understand, Dana, why you've flown up to watch this incredible team.
Because it's not that far away. Why wouldn't I? In fact, I would actually fly to Japan, which I have done. So this is a hell of a lot easier. Anyone who is not here is absolutely crazy in my book. This is quintessential softball, yeah.
What is it about the Japanese team that you find so fascinating?
Their respect for this sport, their respect for other teams, their respect for even the dirt on the diamond. They get into their diamonds and they clean them. They're part of the earth. They're just salt of the earth. They're salt of the earth, and there's a lot of great softball in this world, and they absolutely lead the way in every possible unique way.
We just love that you're here and you're supporting, and you've put your red on to go and get behind the Japanese team.
Wow batting, wow pitching, wow fielding.
Justine, a lot of the chat from there about the respect that Japanese players have from the game as Kiara Taimai up to bat. It's something you probably, did you feel that as well when you were playing in Japan?
Yeah, definitely, and I can relate to some of those comments in terms of the level of respect for the game, respect for the uniform, the equipment, the ground. You know, after every training, we would leave our training field pristine, ready for our next session to come back to. So I can definitely relate.
Taimai, check swing, did she go? She did. Tricky start. Here's Japan already in danger of blowing this one out. It's 11-0. They're a 0 and then a 4 spot away from ending this one early. We'll see what they can do at the bottom part of the lineup here as Taimai, one of the more popular players on this team. Players using the word to describe her as big-hearted, radiating authenticity. Not a bad way to be described, if you ask me. Only makes sense why she's a catcher. Plays with the Bears. And just lost a heartbreaking club championship last year in New Zealand. She's around the mix. She's worked deep into a count here. We haven't seen too many 3-2 counts. They swing and a miss. Pulled by Sakamoto. It's a nice out pitch.
Yeah, the location of that changeup was just on point. It was exactly where Sakamoto wanted it to land.
Had the setup. Brings up Alyssa Laurie, another 23-year-old out of Canterbury, making her debut with the senior squad. All these players do get to go to bed tonight, knowing that, hey, the debut's out of the way. Now it's no more fanfare, just focus on the softball, focus like Lara Andrews said at the beginning.
Get the first stage jitters out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep. Because there's a lot more softball to come over the weekend.
2-0 pitch from Sakamoto. Finds the strike zone. Interesting to see how she battles back from 2-0 down. She hasn't been behind in counts much today.
No, and Sakamoto's hitting her corners well, and there's that change up again. Just landing right at the base of the plate, exactly where you want it.
If you're going to miss with a changeup, where's the best place to miss?
In the dirt.
In the dirt. Lower than low.
Lower than low. Yes.
Got to have a good catcher.
Yeah, a good catcher will wear a change-up in the dirt.
She tries to zip one in there upstairs after attacking low. Trying to go 8 up, 8 down. Swing and a miss, goes off speed again. And the timing just mixed up Alyssa Laurie enough, and it's another strikeout. 3 in a row 5 on the game.
Yeah, that change-up is just working like clockwork at the moment. It's just sitting just below the knee.
First pitch swing from Danica Fariso. Playing at Hutt Valley. What she's setting up the changeup so well with. What's the best setup pitch for her changeup today?
Oh, she seems to be going with that inside drop, high inside as well.
There's a ball that was driven over to short. It was a good piece of the ball, but it was right at Ishikawa. And it's one time through the order, 9 up, 9 down. No hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts for Sakamoto. One of the best statistical pitchers in the Diamond League this year is pounding the zone. Hard to say she labored that inning, but compared to the other two, a couple full counts, but at the end of the day, it's still a 1-2-3 fairly clean inning, and some good contact from New Zealand there too.
Yeah, the New Zealand team definitely took the counts a lot deeper that inning, so we're seeing improvement there, which is a great sign.
Well, we'll head to the bottom of the third inning. If Japan score 4 runs, this ball game comes to an end, and if they don't, well, then they'll have 3 outs to try to close the door. This game could come to an end quickly, Justine, but I think we've probably seen right away. I mean, there's a lot of talk about what Japan would look like, what players they're bringing over, how this shapes up, and they are looking every bit like the world #1 that they are advertised.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a display here this afternoon like the #1 team in the world, which they are.
What was the biggest culture shock for you when you went over to Japan, when you played your professional softball over there?
Culture shock, I think maybe the amount of time we spent on warm-up, which we touched on earlier, that 3 hours pre-game.
Where do they put you? Where do you live as an import player playing in the Japanese leagues?
Yeah, my company was based just outside of Kyoto, so we had a little apartment right on the river there. The lake, excuse me.
As Ishikawa comes up to bat, she's homered and hit a double already. The captain has started off her tournament in a big way. Yeah, you'd hope they'd take care of you as a foreign player coming into the league. Is there enough
definitely.
English speakers to help you navigate around the tracks?
Yeah, we were fortunate enough that our assistant coach actually spoke English. So we were the lucky ones. Actually, the other foreigner over there at the same time as myself was Stacey Porter.
Okay.
Who's still over there for the same team. Sagua playing in that league.
How's Stacey Porter's Japanese now?
I'd say it would be a lot better than mine. No, I think she knows enough to get by in Japan. Probably more than she gives herself credit for.
Just standing in there and taking a walk for Ishikawa. It's another leadoff base runner here in the third. They've started every inning, all 3 they've played so far. One with a double, one with a walk. It's a big lead for Japan early. Here's Fujimoto. Fujimoto 2 for 2, has a couple of doubles in this game. She can swing it. We've seen that early on. Plays for Big Camera. One of the power clubs, more Japanese titles than anyone else. You were over there. Who were some of the clubs? Did you get warned about any of the clubs where they said, yeah, hey, circle this one, circle that one? Any rival clubs?
Oh, I don't think there was specific rivalry, but every game was competitive.
Really?
It's not like you could circle a team and say, oh, you know, this should be a win this round. Every game was tough.
There's a few different tournaments that exist, isn't there? I mean, there's the Diamond League, there's the competition, but I know they have the All-Club Championship as well, which is just a single knockout tournament for clubs that enter.
Yeah, and I think that's all Japan as well, so the foreigners can't play in that tournament.
It's the All-Japan title.
Yeah.
And it's ruthless. You go there and you could be there for 10 days and playing every day in an aggressive knockout tournament, or you lose day one and that's it. There's no
back on the bus.
I'm guessing that's how you travel around these Japanese leagues a lot, is by
bus.
By a team bus.
Yeah,
or
a lot
they
of
make
them
you drive away yourself.
No, a lot of them is by bus, or potentially train, but majority would be bus.
Are they nice buses at least?
Yeah, there's actually one team in Japan called Shoki, the Shining Vega, and their bus was silver like a spaceship.
Literally, they looked like a spaceship driving around, pulling up to the Diamond.
The spaceship on wheels.
Oh my goodness. Could it fly? Could they fly?
I don't know what kind of modifications it had on it.
They should look into that. Fujimoto, again, another lengthy at bat on a full count. She goes pop. Lori moving back to the track, and she makes the play. Runner will advance to third. Fujimoto just missed that one. It's going to go down as a loud out to right field.
Next into that for Japan, number 19, Mayu Okawa.
Brittany Terry doing a pretty commendable job here. Came in a pretty tricky situation. Already 8 runs on the board, allowed just that one more, and then 1 run in the third. Gets it early out here in the fourth.
Yeah, and it's really hard coming in to the pitching position when you're that far down in a game, because there's no holding back.
Rips one to right field. Lori laid out. Runner will advance easily to third. And another run on the board makes it 12-0, but you love the diving effort from Lori as well.
One's the grass for a 3-bagger. Next into that for
Japan jumped
16,
all over. And Justine, as you were saying, you're right. That's a tough job to do for the team, to come in when the game's probably over on the scorebook, but still a lot more to play.
Yeah, it's hard to come in and shut down a team that's already 8 runs in front, because they're more free with their swings on the bat, because there's less pressure on them.
When you're down a lot, does it allow you to be a little bit more free too, knowing that maybe it's not a tight game?
Yeah, I guess that's another way of looking at it.
First pitch swing right over to first. They'll try the play at home, and she's out. A nice play from Shaw Tate, finding Taimai with the tag out at home, and New Zealand take a run off the board.
Number 6, Yumi Kirishi.
It's a good tag from the catcher. Trying to protect. And a nice little highlight for the New Zealand squad. Here's Yume Kirishi. Just the one error all last season in the Diamond League. This game she's been on base twice and scored twice. Popped up. Blackmore moves back. And nice work from Brittany Terry and the New Zealand White Sox. They allow just the 1 run in the inning. They take a run off the base pass, but they're hanging with them these last 2 innings. A 10-run inning in the first, a 9-run inning, I should say, in the first, and that is what opened the scorebook. But now New Zealand need to score a couple runs. And New Zealand are rolling. I think Stacey Porter might be in the stands here today, from what we're hearing.
Yeah, I can spot her in the stands in the red hat for anyone who's at the field. Track her down for an autograph.
Yeah, talk about one of the most legendary names in softball history, regardless of what country you are from. A new pitcher coming on the mound. We'll have enough time to talk about Stacey Porter throughout the weekend, I am sure, but Misaki Katsumata is the new pitcher. They're not going to let her see a second time through. She also pitches at big camera. She's been sort of their main pitcher. She shares the load with Ueno. Ueno, a legendary name in the Japanese circles, but she's now 43, so sort of at the tail end of her career. This 26-year-old is probably going to be the one that pitch the bulk of the innings going forward. Notes her fastball as her weapon as well. So Katsumata will step in on the mound, and we'll see what she can do. How's that, sharing the circle with someone like Ueno as your job?
Who better to learn off? You just try and emulate what she did.
Well, New Zealand just 3 outs away. They need to generate some offense. Still looking for their first base runner. We'll see if they try to change up anything, maybe any pinch hitters, just to make sure everybody plays. They did play a game earlier. Nakia will step up to the plate. Eastern Illinois University on debut. Nakia recently graduated from police college, from police school. She's just become a constable in New Zealand. Talk about all these Japanese players basically being full-time softballers, spending their days at a field working on their craft. Nakia, obviously a clear demonstration of, you know, this full-time work you have to go into study to become a police officer, let alone actually doing your job. She's got some zip on that, doesn't she, Katsumata?
Yeah, it certainly has a little bit more velocity on it.
Ball put back in play. It gets away, and New Zealand have a base runner. Nakia will stand on two, and for the first time today, New Zealand have a base runner. It comes from putting the ball in play, using a bit of speed, and here come New Zealand. Showing something a little bit different.
I love that even though the scoreline is 12-0, Nakia is still putting a bunt down in that situation. And I think it took Japan off guard.
Now they're going to pinch hit Poppy Priddle. Here's Tainisha Hokamao. She was the Softball New Zealand Player of the Year in 2025. Both the Player of the Year and the Pitcher of the Year. She was probably their ace in the circle at the Canada Cup. Played some college softball over in the United States. Played for the World Cup qualifier in 2023. pitcher for the Otahuhu Bears in their historic club win last year. She is a woman of pedigree in terms of her softball in New Zealand.
That's certainly a strong resume, isn't it?
And I like the feel here. You have a big bat at the plate. You got a runner in scoring position. Let's try to get one on the board. I think out of all of that, that ball actually dipped in. It's hard to see from our angle, but did that dip in fair?
Yeah, it looks like it.
And then just a quick tag. It's going to look strange on the replay. Let's have a look. That's almost unlucky. It was just popped straight up in the air. That's what she thought, and that is just in play with a backspin right to the catcher who's standing next to the batter who thought it would have gone foul. That is unlucky. Wow. Now, Lise Pettit gets a turn at the plate. I was wondering if this would happen with Craig Wallace. You know, it's the end of the game, needing a couple runs to stay in it, but do you go to your bench, just get people in the game, make sure they have and they can say they had in that bat versus one of the best in the world? You try to build on that as a positive from experience at bedtime as well.
Yeah, get that first at-bat away against Japan so, you know, they can put that to bed for the next game.
Well, Pettit swings through the pitch, and down she goes as well. Well, this is it. This would be the final out that they need as they continue to empty the bench. Dr. Lara Andrews up to the plate right now for New Zealand. She is the longtime team captain, and she goes swinging.
Hopefully Lara can keep New Zealand alive. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
Recently had her doctorate in human development and family science. That's where the doctor comes from in her name. Now working back at the Victoria University of Wellington. She's a lecturer in physical activity and well-being. Only a lot of experience with that in her 2 decades and over 100 international games. Andrews watches one on the outside. Got to spend some time playing in the Pro League in Pennsylvania in the United States. The Pennsylvania Rebellion. Just watching a steady diet of heat come towards it right now. 2-2 count. Katsumata 1 strike away from ending it for Japan. This is up again. Can Andrews cash in a run for New Zealand? Still looking for their first run today. It's a walk, so they got 2 base runners in this inning.
There from Andrews. She'll take the walk. Runners on 1 and 2 for New Zealand now. Next thing back, bringing in for number 6.
Tiarn Bromhead Lamalo on debut has 2 runners in. Wouldn't this be a great way to start your career as a senior level New Zealand White Sox player? And sensing that they need a couple of runs to keep the game going. Andrews swapped out. Vonnie Gibson steps onto the field, and Vonnie used to play at this baseball club, or this softball club rather. Played with the Saints as a junior, which is pretty cool. Now she's on the base paths versus the world number 1. 21-year-old Bromhead Lamalu. Trying to find that first run of the day. Imagine if they score, you're going to get a nice little reaction from the dugout.
I'm sure we will.
And she's going swinging for it. Why not?
I love it. I love it. And New Zealand, every batting innings have just gone strength to strength.
A little bit better each time up at the plate.
Yes.
And she goes swinging on a pitch up. She didn't go down wondering, and that is going to do it. There is a run rule in these games according to WBSC rules. And Japan run away with their first game. It really did come from that 9-run first inning. Ishikawa hits a home run. She also had a double in that first inning. It really did start with the captain, didn't it? You know, she has that extra base power, and she was all over the scorecard in that first inning.
Yeah, Japan certainly turned up for this game this afternoon and didn't disappoint. I wouldn't have expected anything less from them. They took the extra bases when they were given to them. The pitchers held up their end of the bargain, hit their spots, threw some really nice off-speed pitches early on in the game.
Yeah, the start from Sakamoto goes 9 up, 9 down. But you're right, New Zealand, some positives to go on here. I mean, they held Japan to just 1 run in each of their last couple innings that they batted. They also got a couple base runners on. I know it's a 12-0 in the scorebook, but you take away that first inning, and New Zealand were right there with them in terms of at least generating a couple opportunities and keeping runs off the board.
Yeah, you take away that first innings and a couple of moments there where, you know, that throw home, which would have taken them to 3 out a lot earlier in that first innings. The ball game looks very different.
Probably a few key things for them to take away and learn when they're reviewing film from the first 2 games. I mean, realistically, when you're taking a look at the Australia Cup, top 2 teams make it in the 3-team competition. New Zealand's battle is with Australia for a chance at gold medal with playing Japan. It'd be crazy if Japan weren't in the top 2 of the 3-team tournament. So, you know, a few things you can learn. Obviously, they had that intent when they set their lineup. There were a lot of debutantes. Clearly, Craig Wallace had a little bit of a plan with how he wanted to approach that for New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. And I think New Zealand have shown that, you know, they'll go strength by strength as they get more game time under their belt as well, especially of this quality.
Here's the Japanese coach, Reita Itsugi, in the circle. 12-0 win, and there's still some things to debrief and improve.
I'm looking at the same thing, Eric. You know, despite the scoreline, it still looks like they're picking up bits of the game that they can improve on by the way she's swinging the bat.
Since she joined the national team at the 2000 Olympics, that was as a player, and then later on as a coach, they've never finished below bronze in any event that they have played in. In fact, most of the time it's just gold or silver. That includes the World Games. They had the bronze there, but that is sort of the standard for Japan. They literally do not miss the medals in now almost 3 decades under the watch of Itsugi as the coach. She is a legendary coach. You would have played against her coaching in Japan as well. Who knows? Maybe she was still playing.
No, she was coaching at that time.
You remember?
Thanks, Eric. No, she was coaching, and she coaches one of the league teams, Takasaki, one of the top teams in the league, where Ueno throws for them.
Yeah, what a combination. She took her name after the woman who she looked up to and modeled her game after, really wanted to play for her. Another Itsugi, who was the coach of the Japanese team before her, and now the Itsugi name, it's really all they've known in that, I guess, coaching philosophy and web of Japanese softball. Well, we do have Georgie standing by down on the field. It's an interview with a Japanese player as well. I'm excited for this one. Georgie, down to you.
Thanks, Eric. I've got Ishiaka Kyoto here with me. thank you. That was such an incredible match. What was it like to play your first game here in Brisbane?
素晴らしいところでできるっていうのと観客さんがたくさん入ってくれてるところでプレーできるっていうのは嬉しく思ってます。
She was so happy that she played at a very fantastic field, and the spectators are beautiful as well, and she enjoyed a lot.
And what will you be taking into this next match with Australia?
まずは自分たちの役割をしっかりやった上で、しっかり真剣に戦っていきたいなと思います。
Basically, they will play their roles and make sure they contribute to the team.
Absolutely convincing. It was a great game for the spectators, and we look forward to seeing more great softball here this weekend. Thank you.
Justine, I think the comment from me there is they will play their roles. It's a team of stars on here. I mean, she had a home run. There's players that have won batting titles. There's players that have won home run titles. There's some of the best defensive players there, but it was just a simple answer. If everybody just plays their role.
Yeah, and I think it's clear that within the Japanese team, each one of their players knows what their role is in every game.
Role definition, I can't imagine an easy thing to come by when you have a team of stars, but it sort of seems like it's in that Japanese culture just to do your part.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely reflects the Japanese culture.
Well, Justine Smethurst, I appreciate you joining us in the broadcast booth today. Japan start early and they close it down in an emphatic run rule victory. They beat New Zealand 12-0 in the second game of the Softball Australia Cup. They will have to wait about an hour and a half before they take on the Aussie Spirit under the lights of this great facility here at the Brisbane Softball Association at Downy Park. My name is Eric Ballner on behalf of everybody on the Spacequake Sports and KO team, and on behalf of Georgia Trickett on the field as well. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you in a couple hours.